Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today has been a really peculiar day, mostly because the majority of cryptos were going down with not necessarily one specific point that we can pull towards. It's not really clear exactly what caused this, except for, of course, the fact that stocks were going down a little bit. Usually causes cryptos to fall. And like I discovered earlier, that there's a lot of short selling going on right now. And with short selling, I don't mean the short button over on Bybit like I usually show you. I mean a lot of weak hands, a lot of short-term holders are getting rid of their gains, which could be for a multitude of reasons. One is fear, which we'll talk about in just a little second. Another one could be profit taken for the balance sheets. As we described, there's actually two main scenarios, which is one, they want to go for crypto mostly because, well, they want to invest before the end of the year. More money invested sometimes looks nicer. Then again, on the contrary, I also expect, and this is what I said last stream, when we called out the first little dip, that I believe quite a lot of bigger corporations might actually exit out of crypto, not necessarily because they want the realized tax bill, but because it actually shows less risk from their own perspective. So, it's a little way off between the realized tax liability now that they've gone for versus the fact they don't show as much crypto on their balance sheets. It's like a one-to-one, but that's some stuff that I've been thinking about. Now, Plan B also quoted this over on his Twitter, which is, I use models to protect myself from emotions. Right now, most people, including myself, fear further decline of Bitcoin because obviously the price went down so severely that it's pretty bearish. The Bitcoin price I want to sell, but the stock to flow model shows Bitcoin is at the low end of the $50,000 to $200,000 first standard deviation, or actually one standard deviation band. This is actually a buy signal. Likewise, $200,000 will feel like Bitcoin will rise forever, but the stock to flow model says sell, meaning whatever might look like, it's not necessarily what the model suggests. Then again, like a couple of others have said, models are nice, models are fun, but they don't necessarily spell the truth. BitHarnton came in and says, perhaps it makes more sense to present like the Bitcoin stock to flow model, something like this, because there's no real stock to flow price line. It's just a price target area with a huge jump every halving. And it made me think, one of the things it made me think about was, if you actually do zoom out of a Bitcoin chart, like we do here on a weekly, for example, it does look really freaking bullish, right? If you look at the Plan B's models, it does look like, generally speaking, the only direction which we go is up. Plan B says, this is basically what I tried with the stock to flow X model, although I added silver, gold, diamonds, real estate, which increased the curve a little bit to 288 instead of 100K, pure BTC time series. I like it a lot. The phases are key. And once more, the general direction is upwards, 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 upwards. And that's what you can see here. Now, if we're talking short term here, what really happened to the crypto prices? I'm honestly saying we had a perfect retest for Bitcoin, and I've actually called this out before as well. We earlier had a nice little bounce from the 0.236 Fibonacci. Actually, that was about where we broke out of, because you can see here we came in a little bit of a clutch on the Bitcoin price, had a nice little bounce from 0.236, little test below it, but generally speaking, we broke out from that level. We came towards the 0.382 Fibonacci. You can see here we never closed above it, and right now we came right back down to retest since we could not break the 0.382 Fibonacci. You can clearly see that here. We came right back down. Right now it's a retest, and so logically speaking, we can't just bounce back from here and retest the 0.382, which is most likely. Or, again, we can break down, which we don't necessarily want to see. And once we break down, guys, there's going to be some hell that's breaking loose because our next big support is going to be at $40,000. But that would basically mean that we're going to end this week, end this month, end this year in a negative little note. I'm not sure that that would be the nicest of the nicest, Since we are only on Wednesday, there's only 2 more days to the end of the year, though, guys. And you guys already know the end of the month and the end of the year usually are the most important indicators for next rounds, so to speak. As we can clearly see here, let's look at the monthly perspective. Let's quickly check this out. Right now, if we were to close the month like this, it would be pretty bearish. Not really bad because it does still constitute as a bigger correction within a bullish run, because I do still see the whole 2020-21 as being bullish, this being a good correction in the bull run. Right now, though, that would be a little bit less bullish than I would have anticipated. And still on every other time frame, there was, first of all, a big, again, here you can see, a big reversal bullish engulfing candle. And from that perspective, it would be kind of strange to now come right back down and stay down. I honestly think we're going to see the upside still. XP had the exact same scenario. Ethereum had the exact same scenario. We're just starting to build again from previous lows. You can see here for Ethereum, we came right back down to its previous support, which is found at 3,750-ish like that. And for XRP, we are not actually coming that far down. So theoretically speaking, XRP is doing a little bit better. But I would not like to see a bearish engulfing candle. So if we do end this week below 38 or 83 cents or so, guys, that would not be too juicy to see. You can clearly see that would be a bearish engulfing, which would be really detrimental. Then again, I also saw some people make articles like this. Cardano and Ripple will fall out of the top 10 2022 predictions from Arcane Research. And it made me think as well. Guys, honestly, from the truth, the bottom of my heart, I think XRP is one of the best cryptocurrencies out there. It's the honest truth. And one of the main reasons I keep spelling that out everywhere is because if you start to think about it, it has a crazy gain potential, but it also has pretty little reason to go down further. Now, can it go down a little bit? Yes, but it's mostly because of the lawsuit, if you ask me. There isn't really anything else that the price can kind of fall from, in the sense that that's just like such a bearish factor that almost anything that's happening is because of that. So from the same perspective, since the lawsuit already gave XRP a pretty big low at 17 cents, exactly 1 year ago today, I think the fact that we right now for XRP are above 80 cents, so still about 5x the price that we were exactly 1 year ago, does spell quite a lot of bullish momentum for the near future. Then again, like exactly last year, the last couple of days were pretty bearish, and so I would not be too surprised if the last couple of days of the year are still a little bit on the negative side either. But XRP really falling out of the top 10 would be a really short-term thing, because as we all know, guys, XRP is in a really big lawsuit, a detrimental lawsuit for the crypto future, and so short-term, if it falls out, okay, annoying maybe saddening to see your portfolio go down a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's just what it is until we get this lawsuit sorted, as it's a critical and very understandably bearish little, I guess, pressure on the XP price. So I would not be too surprised if something like this did happen, in the sense that people are really trying to go for some other altcoins right now because they're afraid. But ultimately, I think that's also what gives XP one of the best risk to reward ratios and a really big price premium. So even though it might come back down a little bit, might go to the 8th spot, might go to the 9th spot, ultimately, I think they'll recover. And as I said on Twitter, I do think they'll recover the 2nd spot in the crypto rankings once the lawsuit is settled. Might go for 3rd, but I do believe it's going to go to 2nd, and it's going to really catch up quite quickly back to Bitcoin. That's my honest truth to it all. Is it going to overtake Bitcoin? I don't think really quickly, no. But it's definitely going to get a really, really big surge. It's going to be the first properly regulated crypto in the US, and that, guys, is actually way more important than many people realize. Then again, for right now, let's just wait it out and see. XP is, in my opinion, in a really critical spot right now. A good buy still, regardless of what way you view it as. Cardano is in exactly the same situation, where right now it's still a pretty good buy. A little bit less nice than XRP, to be honest with you, as we had a bigger dip a couple of weeks ago. For XP, of course, we're looking a little bit more beautiful in that sense. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. We'll make crazy gains holding these cryptos, so I don't really think it matters. I think a daily is actually more important to realize all this stuff from, as the weekly, I think, will still turn around. The daily, of course, is set in stone, as today we're most likely going to end bearish, but let us see. Is XP going to retest our dynamic support at 78 cents like I was not really anticipating, but kind of hoping for? Hope so. Our biggest buying area for XP, guys, is going to be 77 cents. If we get back to that area, you already know I'm opening up some crazy long positions open over on Bybit. And at the end of the day, guys, make sure you check the link down below for freaking Bybit, because also pretty damn soon here, guys, there is going to be a very important crypto launching. I'm just trying to quickly open it up here. It's called Casta. And so a lot of you all ask me, man, why don't you show us these good cryptos before you actually buy them? Sometimes it's too late. No, I always tell you guys these things up front, but many people don't watch my videos at the right time, or they're just not paying enough attention. I am calling it out right now, right here, all right? Make sure you put this over on a piece of paper to know that Dusty BC said it. If Casta does not go 10x, I'll maybe have to go live and eat like a sock or something, because I'm so certain it's going to happen. I want you guys all to witness that, all right? 10x at least. Make sure you get in. Make sure you beat R there or B squared. A link is down below for Bybit. Make sure you grab yourself some Casta as soon as freaking possible. Not financial advice, but my own thoughts, because I think it's about to be a banger. And from tomorrow forward, the Bybit, I guess, countdown period is going to start, the subscription period. Or maybe it starts in a couple of days. No, I think I think within 1 day. I think it starts 5 days up front. But just make sure you check out the link down below for Bybit, as it's critical. You guys are all involved. And I had some other crypto news here, but I think we're going to wait with that for another episode of the Daily Crypto News later, as this would take another 15 minutes or so since I rambled on a little bit about what is going on with crypto right now. All right, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and see you guys again in another crypto video later today. Adios, amigos.